Introducing my new heart cable knit scarf pattern. Hello, I'm Kristen and welcome back to my channel, StudioKnit. My cable heart stitch pattern is really popular with you, so I thought you'd enjoy a project pattern using this stitch, and it's just in time for Valentine's Day. We're knitting with super bulky yarn and large needles, so this project knits up quickly and looks really impressive. The finished size of our scarf is 7 inches wide, and then I knitted mine about 72 inches in length. So I did 12 hearts until I reached the middle, and then I did another 12 hearts. So you can totally customize the length of your scarf. If you like this knitting project and would like to see more, please like up this video. It really helps me out. To knit this scarf, you will definitely need to get the written pattern. So I have it totally for free over on my website. I also have instructions on how to get the printable pattern on my website as well. You'll see that I use a color-coded system, both in the written and the chart patterns, which help you easily discern those 6 different cable stitches at a glance. Knitters have told me that they love it, and I really hope that it helps you too. For our materials, we are using super bulky weight yarn. That's number 6. You can do it in any fiber color of your choice. I have links down in the description below. Our knitting needles are size 11, which is 8mm. They are just straight needles, and you'll want to have them at least 10 inches in length or longer. You'll also want a cable needle, scissors, and a tapestry needle. Oh, and I'm also using blocking mats, which really help make the design lie flat and look beautiful. I wanted to point out that it is not a reversible pattern because the heart design only shows on the right side of your work. However, on the wrong side, it looks really pretty too. There's this nice smooth stockinette design, so if your scarf flips over, it will also look beautiful on the wrong side. So just a little overview. This pattern has 24 stitches that we cast on, and we start with just 2 rows of the garter stitch. So you knit all the way up until the midpoint of your scarf, however long you'd like it to be. And then it's time to switch to section 3, which is knitting those heart pattern repeats in the opposite direction. And then once you're done, section 4 has a row of cabling, knits and purls, and then 2 rows of that garter stitch, and you simply bind off. After cutting my yarn and weaving in all my ends, I like to block it to shape. And these mats are great because they're interlocking. So for a long piece like this, I can continually block the entire scarf for this long length. And I just first got it wet, pinned it down, and allowed it to dry naturally for 24 hours. Now, the edges were curling up just a little bit too much for me, so I finished it off by doing a little light steaming just on the edges using a wet towel and my iron. You also can add yarn fringe. That's totally optional. It looks great either way. I added about 7 inches of yarn fringe, so you can do it however you'd like. I did 3 strands, and just using my fingers, I pulled it through the back of my work and then looped it on through, tied it off, and once I had all of the yarn fringe on one edge, I went ahead and cut everything so that they were uniformly at the same length. So you'll need the pattern, as I mentioned. Here it begins with some knits and purls, and I'm going to be demonstrating the cable stitches so that as you go along, if you have any questions on exactly what to do, you can refer to this video at any time. So the first one we encounter is C4B. That means that we take our cable needle, we take 2 stitches, and we take it to the back. Our cable needle is in the back, And then it's K2 from our main needle. So holding that cable needle in the back, we are going to knit 2 stitches from our main knitting needle, pretending like that cable needle's not even there. And now we switch. And from the cable needle, we are going to knit 2 stitches. And if cabling is new to you, this might be a little bit of a challenge, but I know you're totally up for it. Just systematically go through the pattern stitch by stitch, and you will see your pretty heart emerge. It's really cool. Now the next one is C4F. That means that we're holding the cable needle to the front. So we take those 2 stitches, we hold the cable needle to the front, we pretend like it's not even there as we knit 2 stitches from our main knitting needle, and then we take the cable needle, and sometimes it's a little bit of a stretch and you knit 2 stitches directly off your cable needle. And then you just continue on with the knits and purls in the pattern. Here is how it's shaping up. This is our even row. I just wanted to point out that the even rows are knitting the knits and purling the purls. If that's something that you're familiar with, then it's great. You can just go ahead and you don't have to refer to the pattern. You can easily knit those knit stitches, and right there you see those little purl stitches, and you just go along on all of the even rows, knitting the knits and purling the purls. Okay, our third cable stitch that we encounter in the pattern is CR4B. Okay, so that means cable right 4 back. So taking 2 stitches and holding the cable needle to the back. And then because we are knitting, we need to bring that yarn to the back, and off of our main knitting needle, we are going to knit 2 stitches right here from our main knitting needle. And once we've completed that, we take our cable needle and we're going to be purling 2 stitches from the cable needle. So we'll bring our yarn to the front, and this is another one that requires a little bit of a stretch. It can be a little bit of a tight squeeze, but you are in control of the yarn. You will make it happen. And you just purl those 2 stitches right there off of your cable needle. Okay, we're halfway there. Our 4th cable needle, it's CL4F. So we're taking the cable and we're holding it to the front, and we're going to be purling 2 stitches off of our main knitting needles to begin with. And then we bring our yarn to the back because we are taking our cable needle and we are going to knit 2 stitches from the cable needle. And let's take a minute to admire our work. Now already after just 3 rows of our cable stitch, our heart is starting to emerge. It's the bottom part of the heart, and let's keep going. So our 5th cable stitch is CR3 back. So we are taking just 1 stitch on our cable needle and holding it to the back. And then we are knitting 2 stitches right here from our main needle. And then we're going to finish it up with that 1 stitch from the cable needle. We take our yarn. Of course, we need to bring it to the front because this is a purl stitch. And we purl it once right here off of our cable needle. Again, that's another little tight squeeze to accomplish that stitch. And I want to show you right here in the middle, you know, there's that pretty little cable that runs up the middle of the hearts. And this is a stitch that we've already done, but I just want to point out that we are doing this twice to accomplish that. And the first time is here on row 5. Okay, final cable stitch to review. So it is CR3F. That is holding 2 stitches on our cable needle in the front, and then it's just 1 purl stitch off of our main needle right here, and we're going to bring our yarn around to the back because we finish it up with the cable needle and it's 2 stitches off the cable needle. This one's a little bit of a stretch, it's not too tight. So I hope you are inspired to create this beautiful texture of interlocking hearts for your next gift filled with love. Please check out my other beautiful knitting designs, and I will see you next time. Bye!